Okay, so back in 2007, a really groundbreaking scientific paper came out, and it proposed this radically simple idea for fighting some of our worst diseases. What if the key wasn't some complicated new drug, but actually the most common, most simple element in the entire universe? I mean, really think about that. What if the solution to some of our most devastating health problems has just been hiding in plain sight this whole time? It's a pretty wild question, right? And it's exactly what this research digs into. So let's start with the problem they were trying to solve. To really understand the hero of our story, we first have to meet the villain. And this villain is a destructive force that's happening inside our bodies, right now, at a cellular level every single day. And that villain? It's called oxidative stress. The easiest way to think about it is like rust, but for your cells. It's this process where these rogue, unstable molecules are just running around, wreaking havoc and causing all sorts of damage. And scientists have linked this damage to pretty much everything, from inflammation to stroke and even cancer. So the solution seems pretty obvious, right? Just get an antioxidant in there to clean up those nasty, unstable molecules. Well, unfortunately, it's not nearly that simple. The whole problem is really a double-edged sword. See, the molecules responsible for all this damage are called reactive oxygen species, or ROS for short. And here's the big catch. While some of them are incredibly destructive, others are actually vital. Our bodies use certain types of ROS for really important jobs, like cell signaling. It's basically how our internal systems communicate with each other. So on one side, you've got the main bad guy, the hydroxyl radical. The 2007 study points to this one as the most cell-toxic ROS of them all. But then on the other side, you've got these helper ROS that our bodies literally need to function properly. And this brings us to the central puzzle for researchers. How in the world do you design a therapy that's precise enough to take out the bad guy, that hydroxyl radical, while leaving all those essential helper molecules totally untouched? You see, any antioxidant that's too aggressive could end up doing way more harm than good. For years, this was a huge, huge challenge. But the scientists behind this paper, they proposed a hero that I promise you, almost no one saw coming. Something incredibly simple and ridiculously abundant. Molecular hydrogen. Yep, that's it. Just H₂, the lightest, simplest molecule in existence. The whole idea was that this tiny, tiny molecule could be the super sophisticated, selective weapon they'd been looking for all along. And they stated it right there in their paper, which was published in the super prestigious journal Nature Medicine. This one sentence, it basically kicked off an entire new field of research. But, how did they prove it? A bold claim like that requires some seriously solid evidence. So let's break down exactly how these researchers went about testing their hypothesis. They designed this really clever two-part experiment. So first they took cells in a lab dish and just blasted them with oxidative stress to see if hydrogen could act like a little shield and protect them. And then they moved to a living model, a rat model of stroke, which is where blood flow to the brain gets cut off and then restored, causing this massive wave of oxidative damage. They had the rats inhale a little bit of hydrogen gas to see if it could protect the brain. And the results? They were absolutely staggering. The rats that didn't get the hydrogen gas suffered significant brain injury, as you'd expect. But in the group that inhaled the H₂ gas, the brain injury was, and I'm quoting here, markedly suppressed. The hydrogen had acted like this incredibly powerful shield against the damage. I mean, this was a huge finding. But why did it work so well? What was hydrogen's secret? Well, the answer lies in its unique superpower, which is what truly makes this whole discovery so incredibly elegant. The genius of using hydrogen isn't just about what it goes after and attacks. It's actually about what it leaves alone. Its real power is in its precision. The researchers gave this a name, selectivity. What they found was that hydrogen is a really discerning antioxidant. It specifically seeks out and neutralizes the most dangerous villain, that hydroxyl radical, but it completely ignores the other ROS that our bodies need for healthy function. It's like a special forces operative, not a bomb. It just takes out the one specific target. And this selectivity, it gives hydrogen therapy a massive advantage. Not only does it spare our helpful molecules, but because the H₂ molecule is so ridiculously tiny, the study notes it can rapidly diffuse across membranes. And what that means is it can get pretty much anywhere in the body, even across the blood-brain barrier, to protect our most vital organs. The implications of this are just enormous. I mean, this wasn't just another small discovery. It basically proposed an entirely new category of medical treatment. This 2007 paper by Ohsawa and his team, it introduced this radical, almost science fiction-like idea that a powerful, targeted medical therapy could be delivered just by inhaling an invisible, odorless gas, just as simple as breathing. And that really brings us to our final thought here. This one single study opened the door to thousands more that followed. It forces us to ask, are we on the cusp of a whole new era in medicine, where one of the most fundamental elements in the universe becomes one of our most powerful tools for healing? The research is still ongoing, but it all started right here.